Hello, everybody! Gaz Williams here. Welcome to the Gaz Williams Show. And tonight, I've got the frills to thrill. Yeah, I got my frilly shirt on, especially for you guys, because tonight's episode is about a new bass. Yep. I'm sorry, my synthesizer-loving friends. Tonight's show is bass-centric. And I'm really excited to show you this bass because it is really interesting. There's a load of things to talk about and to show you with it. And I've also got some interesting little things an interesting compressor. I've teased this one before, but we're going to look at that one a little bit again, a little bit closer. So yeah, that's what we've got in store. Okay. So, without further ado, let's meet the new bass. Now, we can see it's new because it's still got the tag on it and it's still got the plastic hole that you peel off. Maybe I'll do a live peeling tonight. We'll see. Now, what bass is this? Well, this bass is called the Acinonyx bass, and it's made by a company called Nordstrand. Now, Nordstrand are more well known for their pickups, which of course this is fitted with Nordstrand pickups, than maybe they are for making basses. But I think Cordy Nordstrand, the guy behind it, is a luthier of some note anyway, and maybe has just got more into pickups or has made his name more with pickups. But this bass is a super interesting little thing. Right, so the backstory is the great Juan Aldrete from Mars Volta fame. I think he went down to go and see Cordy Nordstrand and took along with him his, I think it's in 1970 or 1971, Goya Panther bass. Now that's a really obscure bass from Italy, and I think Cordy was quite taken with it. So much so, he decided to sort of kind of bring it back to life, really, in a new updated version. Very similar looking. Look at this. I've never seen a bass with one on the top, three at the bottom. Of course, the classic Stingray look, of which we have one here. Three on the top, one on the bottom. But, yeah, and these tuners are funny. Lollipop tuners. Look at them. Especially made for this bass by Hipshot. Now, Hipshot are super cool company. The bridge as well is also made especially by Hipshot for this bass. Now, one of the things that makes this bass really interesting is the control system. You may notice it's only got one knob, but it's got these weirdy little buttons. Now, I'm going to explain these buttons in some detail because our compressor, the Cali 76, sorry, I can frame that a bit better, can't I? The Cali 76 is based on an 1176. An 1176? Oh, well, these buttons have something in common with that. Now, I will reveal that shortly. But anyway, yeah, so that's the basic story of this bass. You might notice it's a little on the small side because it is a short scale bass. It's a 30.7 inch scale length. Basses, like your typical Fender Precision bass or jazz bass, they're 34 inch. So quite a bit shorter. And I haven't got any short scale basses. I've had a few and I don't generally get on with them. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if I don't get on with this one either. Because it's small. It's very narrow at the neck here. And obviously the scale length, 4 inches is quite it's quite a bit of length. Yeah, so we'll see. It's got I've got round wound strings on it. Typically, a lot of short scale basses kind of people will have flat wound strings. I was umming and ahhing, but similar to short scale basses, I always want to like flat wound, but I always go back to round wounds. Okay. Yes. So again, apologies to my synth friends for being bass nerding tonight, but yes, it's my show and I can do what I jolly well like. Now, this show is also dedicated to a certain, what's the person called? I'm just going to have a little look. Someone commented about my show last week, which is absolutely fine for them to do that. But they said it was a horrible show to watch and a horrible show to listen to. I apologise to that person, whoever they are, for putting them through that. But my regulars are well used to watching horrible shows and listening to some horrible sounds. So they must have been new around here. But anyway, yes. So this is going to be dedicated to that person. Oh, I did remember the name. Anyway, it's I don't mind. I really don't mind if people don't like this show, because it is a bit of a kind of hodgepodge, as I'm sure most of you are aware. Anyway, yeah. So this Nordy. Nordstrand often shortened to Nordy, so this is quite often referred to as the Nordy Acinonyx. Now, Acinonyx, that's a funny old word, but I think it's, what is it? It's like some sort, is it a Latin word for cat? It's related to cat. So this is sort of, its nickname is the cat bass. And I thought I'd just have it in shot. Look, I went all out and I got the matching bag for it, which has got like this kind of, I don't know, what's that? Cheetah? I don't know. What animal? Ocelot? What markings is that? But part of the reason why I kept the case out, because I know that's not necessarily the most exciting thing to see, is there is a little innovation that I've never seen before. And if I lift this up here, the zip, in the zip is a little plectrum holder. How about that? Can you see that? Yes. So, oh, Wagyu, hey, I think you're saying it's the cheetah. So yeah, cheetah. Yeah, so I ordered this thing in the middle of December and it's just arrived. So it's, yeah, I'm a little bit grumpy with the customer service because I decided to change. I thought I'd go for it in red instead of, this is called surf green. And instead of getting a reply, I got a shipping notification, 4.5 months, nearly 5 months later from ordering it. Oh well, it's only a little company. It's made in Indonesia and then kind of finished at their factory. Fit and finish isn't great though. I mean, the neck joint here is a bit crude, where the neck joins the body, and no, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it doesn't feel premium, and they're not cheap. They retail for about 900 UK pounds, thereabouts. So, it's not a mega expensive one, but also it's not a budget one. I'd kind of expect a little bit better fit and finish. This definitely feels. I wonder if I can show you that neck socket. Let's get on to. Can you see? It's just not quite flush on there. It's lifting a little bit. Anyway, I'm just nitpicking a little bit, but Native VS is saying, think about all the Eurorack modules you could buy for 900 quid. Yes, about 3 or 4. Anyway, we are going to investigate what this bass can do and see why have I got it. And I mean, because I do have quite a lot of basses, I'm afraid to say. I've got somewhere in the region of 14 or 15, I think. So, and a lot of them are really different from each other. So, my justification for basses is that different basses, and definitely the same with guitars, you play them differently. you play them differently because you hold them different. Like my Rickenbacker, for instance, it really is a different angle. So when you play it, your hand falls at a different angle. The range of the choice of notes then is influenced by the way you hold it, and yeah, and like the thickness, the depth of the and the how low the action is, various things all contribute to different playing styles, or rather the bass suggests different playing styles to you. Now with a short scale, because it is so much shorter than the regular scale or long scale bass, means that you can kind of get around it pretty fast. It's a pretty nimble, quick little bass to play, and everyone loves fast bass, don't they? I think I might have told this story before, but like when I was a teenager, I wanted to be the fastest bass player in the world. And then, as I got a little bit older, maybe experimented with a few other things, started to chill a little bit, and it's like listening to more dub music, I started to realize the error in my ways, as I realized that people like slow bass lines. Anyway, this isn't, well, actually, yeah, this, you could play nice slow bass lines with this. I guess you're all dying to hear it. But before we listen to it, I am going to explain the buttons, and then we'll listen to that in context. And also, it did come with this little thing here. Ooh, what on earth is this? This is also made by Nordstrand, and it's called a Nordi Mute. And it's got the logo, the Acinonyx logo. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Maybe, yeah, just about. Which is quite nice. And so what this is a rubber mute. Some basses, like the original Stingray, it had little mutes that you could kind of unscrew and push up against the string. Now, a lot of players, certainly in the 60s, they wanted to kind of stop the bass ringing as much. So the mute, unlike a trumpet mute, which is bringing the volume down, it does actually suppress the tone as well. This really suppresses the movement of the strings. And the way you fit it is you press it in. This is kind of cut specially for this bass. So you press it down in like that. And then it acts as a mute. So we'll have a listen to that as well. Glenn Marion is saying that his Vox Teardrop guitar has a built-in mute. That's cool. Mr. Wiggly, nice to see you, Dom, in the chat room. Hey, good. Yeah. Mr. Dominic Hawking, in fact. Right, so let's have a listen. And again, I said I was going to explain these buttons. So let's do both of those things. Now, these buttons... Let's see. I did practice this angle. Right. Can you see they've got icons on them? These buttons here refer to the pickup selection, and these ones here to various kind of tone controls. Now, as I mentioned, there's only just a single volume control on here, but so you've essentially got 4 EQ presets, really. Down, this one is like flat. Then we got like a kind of treble roll off, even bigger treble roll off. And then, I don't know if you can see that icon. Yeah, there's like a notch there as well. Okay. Like so. Now, what do these switches look like? They look like an 1176. Well, not particularly that one. I've got an 1176 behind me. I don't know if you can see that in the shot here if I push. With the switches. It's not easy to see that. I should have maybe thought about that. But anyway, apparently these are exactly the switches that Universal Audio have been using on their 1176s, the exact switches. So that's kind of pretty cool. So I mentioned that the first set, or rather these set here are EQ, and then these ones are to do with pickup selection. Let's have a look. So, this button here, actually, oops, let's pop it out. There's like looks like a stop like a stop button on a transport control, and it in fact is mute. Then we've got the first one here is both pickups. Then you can imagine front pickup, back pickup. Now, those of you who know 1176s know that the secret thing of an 1176 is all buttons in mode for the kind of like mega squash. And yes, this does it too. It's not compressing, but you crank all the buttons in and then you've kind of got like a series mode. That's a kind of beastie loud mode. So that with all the buttons in, and pop them out, mute. Okay. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, the switch gear really influenced me getting this. Now, I also play in a band called the Rumbelows, which is a surf rock band. I've got a surfy bass that's made by Reverend. It's an original mid-90s Reverend Rumblefish. I'll show that some point because it's a brilliant bass. I've gigged the hell out of it. It's battered now. And I wanted a second bass to take. Well, I always take a second bass out with me, but I wanted one that was maybe more in keeping with the kind of surf rock kind of look and style. So that was another influencing factor. And that's kind of where I went for the surf green, although I did change my mind. I wanted it in red. Oh, that's another story. But no, this color it is, but it is a lovely color. I've never had a guitar in that color before. Like a toothpastey sort of color. What a quirky looking thing though. But it's super light and it's nice and compact. Anyway, I've been teasing you. I said we're going to listen to it. Yeah, we are, but I'm just going to explain the signal path. I'm plugged into the Eden Terra Nova module, which I bought from Thomann for the princely sum of £61, which was a ridiculous bargain because Eden, legendary bass amp makers, and this is essentially like just the preamp part of a Eden amp, and Eden had a really modern sort of kind of crisp and punchy sound, and that's very much present in this, but we're going to leave it pretty flat. We will play around with it maybe a little bit, but I want the little bass to kind of be the star of the show really. But the Cali 76, the compressor, we are going to use that, but I might switch it out for a moment, and so we can just listen to the bass in its purest kind of sense. Front pickup. So it's got a really kind of sort of tight, punchy little sound. So that's a front pickup vibe. Back pickup. So the back pickup typically is, you're more of a funkier. Then both pickups. Which is a kind of quite a fuller tone. Now, yeah, Jimmy Chunga saying that a bit more jazz nasality. Yes, that back pickup definitely gives you that vibe. Now, I mentioned that, Nordstrand are famous for their pickups, and these I think are specially designed pickups, especially for this bass by Nordstrand. So they know a thing or two about pickups. So, and I do think this is a very, very nice sounding instrument. And mute. But let's do it. Let's put them all in. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I remember. It was a Leslie who commented. Leslie said that my show last week sounded horrible and was horrible to watch. So, yes, this is a tribute to Leslie tonight. I'm going to try and make a show which is equally horrible to listen to and equally horrible to watch. Especially for you, Leslie. But thank you anyway. And thanks to everybody anyway for coming back and watching this horrible show. Right. So, yeah. So, I'll keep it on the front pickup for now. And then, actually, all this time, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I had the notch filter in. Let's go flat. I'll just quickly go through them again. So front. So there's a little bit. It's got a bit more forwardness without that notch. Back pickup. Definitely. You know, it's got like a definite aggressive kind of punchiness. Both pickups. Yeah. Right. And then all in. So definite boost in gain, isn't there? Slightly clipping me input now. Yeah, so back to mute. Useful having a mute on here. Let's look at some of these tone controls. I won't go through all the pickup options. Let's just go full both pickups. First to the filters. I'm gonna take out my mic for a minute because you'll hear the string energy being picked up by this mic. And then the second, which is a steeper filter or the darker sound again. It's quite nice actually flicking it onto the front pickup on that darker sound. Yeah, it's nice. It's got a nice range of tones. And finally, we got the notch, which we did inadvertently listen to earlier. But yeah, without it. Without it. With it. Now, slap fans. This ain't a slapping bass because you can't get the pop in there. There's nowhere for your finger to fit. You get your finger wedged in between the pickup and the neck. Well, what if you can do a stranger? I think, yeah. Yeah, it ain't a slapper, but it's You know, I think it's probably more of a plectrum-y bass than a finger-style bass because of how tight the strings are. This is a pretty tight, you know, the gauge here, you know, it's narrow. Let's find a plectrum. Ah, I know where I've got one. In the zip. Coming in useful. So if you missed that earlier, I was just showing that off the bag that came with it. In the zip is a little plectrum holder. I've never seen that before. Okay, so this plectrum is actually come on, focus. Yes, but it has the logo, the headstock logo on there. Right, so this is the official plectrum. Right, yeah, so this is the bit you're all waiting for. What's it sound like with the mute? Yeah, so this is called the Nordy mute. Let's just push it in. Yes, I'll probably get quicker at doing that, but on it goes. So you can buy these separately then from Nordstrand, and I'm assuming that it comes with different splits in it for different different basses, which have got different kind of string spacing. As I say, this is incredibly narrow string spacing. Okay, let's have a look. Look. So I reckon taking some of that treble off would be good with this as well. Let's take. So I have to take my mic off again. It does kind of affect my pick angle. I typically play further back when I'm using a pick and my hand is hitting the mute, so I'd have to I'd have to play it more at the base of the neck here. So it's kind of pretty cool. Native VS saying nothing wrong with changing your technique to accommodate the instrument though. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think it's again, that ties in with what I was saying earlier. It's the justifier. It is the justifier for having lots of instruments, is that, you know, a different technique, a different approach. You see, what I would do normally is, without I pull the mute out, I would normally use my palm. I do a lot of that kind of muting, but using the side of my hand. So yeah, I can take. still prefer that, really. That, you know, because I can kind of mute and unmute notes, you know, as opposed to this, which doesn't give you any other options once it's on. But saying that, I've never used one of these before, so yeah. So yeah, okay, it's kind of pretty cool. Leslie must be upset. This is listenable. Hooray! Oh, sorry, I don't mean to pick on Leslie. And also, you know, please feel free to criticize to your heart's content. You know, I need to man up to these things and realize that, you know, when I'm wasting everyone's time, which I, you know, very, very good at, that can come with consequence. Yeah. New bass days are the best days. Congrats, Gaz. And sounds nice and rubbery, bouncy in a good way. That's from the organ dude. Yeah. Wagoo's saying it's muted for two-handed tapping. That's not a bad idea, actually, because it's tapping, considered a crime by some arbiters of taste, is one of the hardest things is actually kind of keeping the bass quiet. Let me get my groove on. I can't do it. I need something to play to. So on the floor, as is per usual now, I've got my little looper, so we can get some. I fancied a little kind of conga groove to kind of play along to tonight. Speed that up a little bit. I can't. I'm struggling with that. Hang on. I can't tap. That's the Do the Blue Room bass, says Jimmy Sandwiches. What's it now? Let's get the dubby bass sound. So let's go all in. Yeah, so there's a big old boost of volume when all of them in. Let's just stop that conga. Stop! Shoot the conga player. No, don't do that. Congas are great. Let's have a look. Cali 76. That's the next thing on the table to have a look at. Yeah, I don't know if I think Tolman might still have some of these things. By the way, that's the module. It's really good. It's really good, that thing. It's super cheap. But anyway, what is not super cheap is the Cali 76. Now, this particular one is the Cali 76 TX. And the TX indicates that it's got a Lundahl transformer in it. Now, that kind of whacks on an extra chunk. That's the most expensive pedal I've ever bought, that thing is. But it was a limited edition. It's number 220 out of 400, and they are all sold out. And part of the reason I got that thing was because I love 1176s, and I've always fancied one of them. And the original run of those from 2013 had sold out a long time ago, and they were changing hands for upwards of $2,000. And so they've done this extremely limited run of 400. So I'm kind of thinking it's gonna, hopefully, I don't want to make money on it really, but it shouldn't really lose money. Well, it probably will gain money. Urk. I never buy gear to make money. God, no. But anyway, we'll have a little play with that though, because it is pretty cool. I have to say though, I'm not in love with it. I'm not in love with my Cali 76. It's just, I have gain staging issues with it. I just can't, I don't know. I plug my electric guitar into it and I think it's great. My 1176 is behind me, which is a Clark Technic one, I just much prefer it on bass. However, it's still cool. One of the things that this one does, though, let me get, so I'm just going to go front pickup, EQ off, and take the mute off for now. See, nice grindy rounds. Native VS says, I thought Graham Goldman was a Rickenbacker person. Yes, I think he was. He might still be. Okay, so the module is this thing. It's called module. Is flat. I've got it all flat, and I will play with that in a moment because that is powerful EQ. But I'm running, even though it's a passive bass, I'm actually, because I'm going in the Cali 76, I'm coming in active. And the reason that is because there's a little toggle switch at the back of the Cali 76 which overloads the transformer to give a bit more of a kind of grind. Now, that transformer, you can't bypass it unless I'm plugged into the line output rather than the amplifier output, and you can't bypass it, the transformer. So it, I'll flick the switch on the back and you'll hear the difference. And that's with the effect off, you see. There is a little jumper when you can open up the Cali 76, and there's a little jumper, and then with that little jumper you can tone down the input sensitivity. But that only works when you engage the effect. So when it's bypassed, you could still be overloading your input stage next. But it's not too bad here though, because I'm going into the active input, which is kind of probably about a 15 dB cut or something. Okay, but let's turn it on. Hear that compressor. Oof, see, that's so the compressor, it does a good job of kind of reining things in, and longer release. I'll whack the ratio right up to 20. Now, when you whack the ratio up to 20, that's the equivalent to pushing all the buttons in. So why don't we do it? Push all the buttons in. Oh, yeah. The effect. Make a faster attack now. So you can see how much attenuation is going on those little kind of indicators on the front there. I wouldn't really use that much ordinarily for a bass. I would probably, in fact, I think it's probably better to have quite a low ratio. And yeah, somewhere like that. But the sound of the transformer is really, really nice on the Cali 76. I do really like that aspect of it. there, I think. You know, we can really spank it, you know. Yeah. Okay, so let's mess with a bit of EQ now. You might have been, I don't know what your monitoring situation is at home, but if you're listening to this, I would want a bit more low end. Now, straight away, I'm starting to overload my inputs. Let's just. There is actually a button on here, boost. And then what that will do is will give us a nice, not particularly powerful, but just a nice little lift in the low end. Ooh, getting a bit of gain, let's back that down a little bit. So the EQ's flat apart from that bass boost in there. So if I just push that bass a little bit more as well. Ooh, getting some distortion. Let's just back that up. So back that there. So typically when you use a compressor with a passive instrument going into it, you will lose a little bit of top end. So if of course, that's partly why I'm overloading. I had all the buttons in, but so opening up a bit of top end, maybe bring up the high mids a little bit. Too much, but so it's quite a nice EQ on here because you've got a bass and treble shelf, but then you've got these two sort of semi-parametric low mid and high mid. Nice tone. Oh, a little bit distortion. So, you know, it's always a balancing act, I think, gain staging, you know. I'm going to not hit the transformer on the Cali 76 now. So you can see a big drop in gain now. Nice on the modular, we've got an input clip and an output clip indicator as well. So that is great for making sure that our gain staging kind of yeah, one of the things in the Eden, one of the classic Eden elements is the enhanced circuit, which is switchable on this thing. And then you've got, ooh, you can hear that bringing up some of the noise. Oh yeah, so, oops, you've got an enhancer mount here. So the enhance, I think, is a bit of a, I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's like some sort of EQ contour that you can then apply an amount of this. It's probably a bit of a smiley face, I think, by sounds of things. And the module also does have its own little compressor, which I think again is the standard one that's in the Eden amp. Let's bring that enhanced down. It's bringing up some noise. Take the Cali 76 compressor off. Oh, suddenly I'm missing that. So it's just a single switch, you know, so that's, you know, no amount, no controls at all, just on or off. Take the enhanced circuit out. On. So it's definitely, yeah, it's like a slap. I think the enhancing is a slap tone, isn't it? Anyway, let's do something. Let's make some music, I think. About time. But thanks, everyone, for checking out the show tonight. I know, as I say, sometimes it's synthy, sometimes it's not. But this, I am a bass man. I was thinking about this the other day. You know, I am a bass man. It's like some people are a policeman or a policewoman, or some people are, you know, their occupation defines them a little bit. You know, some people are farmers, and they're farmers through and through. You know, they are as farmy as it gets. And I'm a bass man, really. All said and done, that's the thing. When I was 16, I decided that that's what I want to be, a bass player. So I do kind of feel most at home, really. Let's revive our dead conga player a moment. Let's give him an amphetamine injection. Okay, I'll just do a really simple little thing. I got a little secret weapon. All right. Yeah, that probably wasn't the most interesting thing to show the sound of the bass. In case you were wondering, any guesses where the effects were coming from? That was indeed the Electro Harmonix Modrex. We've looked at that before on earlier episodes of the show. And one of the things that's quite nice with the Modrex is the Modrex is actually synchronized via MIDI to the loop station. So the effects are all time synced, which is kind of cool. But one of the nice things really about the Modrex as well is that it's a very stereo device. So it's really good for taking a mono signal like a bass and making it do loads of stereo things. Because stereo bass is a very sensible idea, but in this kind of case, it's all right. Yeah, but the Modrex is like a multi effect. It's got a filter, and it's got a modulation, which could be vibrato, flanger, chorus, or phaser, and then it's got like a tremolo, and it's got like a pan, like an auto pan as well. So yeah, they could. So that kind of works pretty well. So actually the sound, let's have a look at some. I'll just play some of the presets on the Modrex. Yeah, no, I haven't got the H9 plugged in today, which is a bit silly really, because the H9 is the Eventide is superb. Other sounds. Each of the effect stages in the Modrex can be set to different time divisions. That's its kind of big selling point. So there's different effects. Should get the Cali on. Let's get some compressor on. High pass filter on here, if you're wondering where all the bass end have gone. Harry Turner Project is suggesting that this is 82 BPM. I think it's actually 122. I haven't really played this bass until now. It's like brand new to me, so actually I'm starting to enjoy it. It's very easy to play. If you're of the smaller handed variety, I'm not particularly smaller handed, but this might be a nice choice of bass because it is, yeah, it's considerably smaller than a standard bass. Carrier Monkey saying love sea foam green. Yeah. I'm getting into it. As I said at the beginning of the show, I was saying I really wanted to change the order from this surf green to red, but I'm stuck with it. I don't think that's a bad thing, though. Again, high pass filtering. Let's get a low pass on there. That's quite cool. Hey, Chicky, I should tell you about my new bass sometime. Wow, what have you got? I think Chicky was on the Sonic Talk today. I missed it because I was working. Yeah, this is a very playable bass. Oh, you got a bass 6. Oh, bass envy. Is that a Fender one or the Squier bass 6? So that's like a 6-string bass but tuned an octave lower than a regular guitar rather than a 6-string bass where you got the low B and the high C. I'm gonna do another loop time. Yeah, let's do another loop. So I'm just gonna clear off what I just did. Oh, let's do something. We'll do something really slow now, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll get out of the key of E. I mean, you see, E is the key for bass because your lowest string, it's going from E to E, so you got the most range. You got the Squier. Now, I tried out the Fender and the Squier. I actually preferred the Squier one, so I think you made the right choice there. I'm gonna get my conga player up just so I got something to play to. That's gonna be hard. Actually, it's not the easiest pattern to play to quietly. Let's do it. Don't matter. Okay, so hand-me-downs, yeah, hand-me-downs. The curse of being the youngest. You get the hand-me-downs. You get the hand-me-downs. You don't get the new stuff, you get the old stuff that's been worn before. It's all been worn before. It's all been worn before. You get the hand-me-downs. You get the hand-me-downs. You get the hand-me-downs. It's all been worn. It's all been worn before. Hand me down. It's all been worn before. Hand me down. It's all been worn before. Hand me down. just want some new underpants that have never been worn. That have never been worn. They've never been worn. Never been worn. Hand me down. Hand me down. It's up your hand-me-downs. Yeah, I just want something new for a change, like a brand new bass, not a hand-me-down. Like a brand new bass, not a hand-me-down, hand-me-down. Like a new bass, not a hand-me-down. You don't need nothing new in this town with a hand-me-down. Hand-me-down. Yeah, you got to hand me down. Hand me down. All right, those are silly. Yeah. Some funny chat room things. Andrew Brooks, I'll send you some pants. Only been used to dampen springs. Brown skid on my undies, says Jimmy Sandwich. Trouser blues. Fresh pant funk. Hey! Thank you, Mint Taxis. Lemon character doing shoulder shimmy dance moves. Not quite sure what it means, but I like it. Yeah, how we doing? Right. Sort of running out of things now. Don't know how much you can talk about a bass, but well, I can talk about basses. But yeah, I'll tell you what, something is happening. Something's happening here. Let's put this mute button. The pickup plastic has started to peel. So I'm going to do it, guys. I'm going to do it. I'm going to peel the plastic. Yeah. Okay. It's that big moment, isn't it, when you peel the plastic off something. I'm going to commit to this. I had a half a mind when it arrived, you see, because I fancied it in red. But no, I'm going to stick with this one. I kind of got into it now. I like the colour. Yes, peel off the plastic. I don't think it's going to necessarily make it sound any better, but it'll make it look better. Here's one. Let's peel this one. And it's got a big old one across the whole scratch plate as well. Yes, this is one of those special moments that I'm sharing with you all. No peel from the hand-me-down, says Steve Elbows. It's already been peeled. Yes, so this is the joy of a non-hand-me-down bass, of a brand new one. Now, this one isn't peeling very well. The first one was started to peel off entirely of its own doing. Now I'm trying to actually make this second one, this front pickup peel off, and I can't do it. Come on. Come on, let's peel it. It's also a bit like peeling burnt skin. It's a bit of a gross thing, but it's kind of nice. I've got a confession. I think enough years have passed for me to be able to confess this heinous crime. Not peeling skin, but I don't know why. It's just reminded me of this thing that I did. A really, really naughty thing. But I didn't mean it to be quite so naughty. Right. We're going to have to go back in time to... Oh, God. Could I get in trouble for this? Could I get in trouble for this confession? No. I reckon I couldn't, because I could just pretend I just made it up. All right. So I was at a wedding in London when I was young, and I was staying with a cousin for a few days, and I was a mad Who fan. I was only about 16 or 17, and and Who happened to be playing in Wembley Arena when I was there. I happened, and just thought, oh, maybe I could go and see. So I phoned the box office, but and they told me that the concert was sold out. But they said if you turn up at a certain time, then there are some returns, and you might be in luck. So I thought, oh well, I haven't got much to lose, and so I went down there and I joined a queue of other people who'd obviously, were trying to do the same thing, and it was getting really close to the box office. There was just two people in front of me, and they asked for a ticket, and there was only one ticket left, and they didn't want one because they were a pair. So yes, I got it. I got a ticket, and I was like super thrilled because this was like, I was really young and I hadn't really seen many bands, and this was the Who. John Entwistle. I had started playing bass, so he was like a huge influence. And anyway, so I got the ticket, and I was thrilled, but I was going to watch this concert on my own, and so I didn't have anyone to sort of share the experience with, but that was all right. I was at least getting to see the Who. Anyway, as it happened, this was like the worst seat in the. Did I miss the wedding? No, I didn't miss the wedding. This was on another day. I'd gone up for a few days for this wedding, and I was just this was like on another day. So so I went into the venue and I found my seat, and my seat was like, it was looking at the side of the stage. And it was the back row looking at the side of the stage. But it wasn't, it was already dark, and there were no speakers positioned for the people in these. I must have been like, I don't know, they're totally the worst seats in the house, because you couldn't really see the stage very much because you were looking at the side of the speakers. But as luck would have it, though, I had a direct view at John Entwistle, so I was actually quite pleased about that. But anyway, I was really kind of bored waiting, because I was there for hours waiting, and just oh God, it's a confession now. Absent-mindedly at first, I just reached behind me, and because I was at the back seat in the, what do they call those things? It's like rack of seats, and I was at the top. I could reach, and I could feel there's this like kind of soundproofing. And bits of it had broken off, and the soundproofing, it was weird. It was a little bit like the stuff you get in florists. You can, like, it's like a foamy stuff you can put flowers in. It felt a bit like that. Anyway, I broke off a piece. I thought, ooh. Snapped off a piece. I thought, oh, that was like really pleasing, really naughty, but really pleasing. Anyway, I thought, I wonder if I could break off a bigger piece. I started rocking this piece, and another piece broke off, and it kind of falls down behind the seat. It's just totally, I can't believe I'm even confessing this now. But I don't know. I think I was just like bored. Anyway, I started rocking another, like leaning behind. And a massive piece broke off and made this enormous thing. It's like, whoops. Oh, terrible. Huge. It was a massive piece. It must have been about 5 or 6 meters. Huge piece broke it off. Oh dear. Anyway, actually, I don't care, because the seat was so bad in terms of, like, they'd put no effort to make the people who were sitting in these seats have a good concert, So yeah, that's my justification. But something really funky happened after the gig, though, is, so watch this gig, and the sound was abysmal. You were just getting the slap back off the back of this. It's Wembley Arena. It's a huge, big indoor venue, and I was just getting the slap back coming in, and it was awful. It was really, really awful sound. But I got to watch John Entwistle. Anyway, I came out after the gig. I got away with breaking off this big piece. As I went down, though, I could see it. I could see it all mashed on the floor. Whoops. But anyway, because I was at the stage, when I came out, there was a door, which I guess was going backstage. And who should be waiting by there but Dave Murray from Iron Maiden, one of the lead guitarists from Iron Maiden. I used to like Iron Maiden back then. I still do in a way. But anyway, I was just, really plucky 16-year-old. I just went straight up to Dave Murray and started going, "Oh, did you just watch The Who? Did you just watch The Who?" And he was going, yeah. He's really friendly. He's a really nice guy. And he was going, "Yeah." And then I said to him, Are you going to the backstage party?" He said, "I might be." I said, "Oh, can I come?" And he was like, "Oh, well, I don't know." I said, "Oh, please." And he just kind of winked at me. Anyway, a short while later, the door opened and someone nodded, and sort of Dave Murray went in. He just turned and he just kind of gone like, "Come on." So Dave Murray got me into the backstage party at The Who. I was like 16 or something, and it's like, oh my God. So I went in there. I was on my own. I was just like, whoa, it's just like, this is amazing, So then we got into this room then, and I was like looking around, and there was various celebrities around, and who I should spot of all people, but was Nick Beggs, the bass player, and he was at the time, he was in Ellis, Beggs and Howard, which was his band he was in after Kajagoogoo. And Ellis, Beggs and Howard was a little bit more of a serious thing. He was playing lots of Chapman Stick in that, and I'd kind of, he's a phenomenal bass player. Well, lots of people know him now because he plays with Steven Wilson. He's like one of the top bass players around, really. Anyway, I went up to him. I didn't really, I think Dave Murray had sort of given me the shoe off a little bit. So I went up to Nick Beggs, and he was super friendly. He was so nice. And I was just like really excited to talk to him. And I knew quite a bit about him because I'd read about him in Guitarist magazine. So he was like, I think he was a bit pleased that I was asking him all these questions about stuff. And he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna introduce you to some people." I said, "Well, oh, great." And Nick Kershaw, he introduced me to Nick Kershaw as the future of bass playing. Oh God, my head was like, I was going to explode. And he was just so kind. And I'll never forget how kind Nick Beggs was to me on that occasion. He really gave me this kind of confidence, and I don't know, I still feel like indebted to him for that, because he was super nice. Anyway, The Who did come in at some point, and I saw John Entwistle, but I couldn't actually get close enough to him. But anyway, I saw John Entwistle walk off, so I thought, I'm going to follow him. So I followed him, but he went off, and I didn't see where he went. And I'd gone down this corridor, and then I looked, and I saw the steps to the stage. I thought, I'll go up on the stage. So I went up on the stage, and I was right there, and I could see this bit when I was watching from where I was watching, and there was all John Entwistle's basses. So being a total kind of crazy 16-year-old, I took one of his basses off the rack and started having a go at it. And the security had obviously seen me, and come in, this security guy, he grabbed me. And he goes, "Yeah, come on, Art, you go in." I said, No, I'm with Dave Murray from Iron Maiden. I'm with Dave Murray from Iron Maiden. He going, Yeah, likely story. And he escorted me off, and he kind of threw me out. And then kind of reality sort of then dawned on me that I don't know how to get back. Like the last tubes, I'd sort of missed all my sort of transport connections and whatnot. But I remember just walking then, I was just stunned. I was stunned. It felt like it was just like a little introduction into this kind of adult world of rock and roll a little bit. Yeah. So there we go. Here's a little story. That was me. That was from peeling this. It reminded me of pulling that thing off. So anyway, on with the peeling. So I've managed to peel off the things here, and I'm going to try and peel off this. This can often be a bit of a challenge, getting it off the scratch plate, but it's coming off nice. This is like the equivalent of an ASMR, but in a feely thing, when something feels. Oh, feel that. Hang on. That has got a nice bit of peel action going on. Oh, it's peeling off. It's peeling off. Yes. This is definitely a committing to an instrument kind of thing. Right. Oh no! A bit came off. I was hoping to get like a complete whole peel off, but no. Nearly peeled. Come on. Oh, you don't get to peel off much in synths, do you? Oh, that is a nice feeling. Oh no. We got chicken head peely syndrome. Does the chicken head come up? Does it come off? Oh, it's on pretty tight. Has it got a little grub screw on there? Oh no. Oh yeah. And it's off. If anyone wants this, I'm going to put it on eBay for £3. No, I'm not. Right. Well, I'm going to probably sign off in a moment. I might just do another little jam if that's all right with you guys. And then, but thanks ever so much, everyone, for me having my little indulgent little sharing of this new, rather splendid instrument. I've definitely, over the course of this little session with you guys, I've kind of, yeah, I think I've become quite fond of this little fella. I think it's a keeper. Well, it is now. I've peeled off the thing. So yeah, the Acinonyx, or the cat bass. Yeah, very, very nice. Mute, unmute. Oh, let's take the effect off. It's a great sounding bass. It is really cool. I like it. I do like it. Again, I've got some little bit of bass boost going on off this, but take that off. That's without the bass boost. So I think it does. I think it definitely benefits from a little bit of bass boost, bit of top end. Let's clear up the looper, and let's do something, and it'll be for the to sign off with. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do something different from the. I'm gonna change the conga pattern. Latin beat. Let's do some Latin. Let's see. Let's get tempo. Nice, like quick tempo. Oh, that's way too quick. Let's sit that back a bit. There we go. Ooh! Have some effects now. Find a better sound. gain. I'm going to overdrive this. Friends, thank you, my friends. Thank you for joining me again. Oh, my friends, yeah. Got my thrills for you. Gotta give you thrilling news. I like you very much to join me again. Yeah, click that stinking bell if you want to be alerted when I'm gonna take you to hell. Musical hell, that is. Yeah, just as the Leslie lady, oh man, says. Alright, 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 alright. Ah, la 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 la. Yeah. We got the time to go. It's time to go. We've had enough of all your show. We've got better things to do. We've got better things to do than listen to you. Listen to you. Listen to you. Ha! All right, all right, all right, all right. Yeah. Thank you, Wacko. It's time to say goodnight. It's time to wave you all off. Thanks once more to all of my friends around the globe. Yeah. Yeah. Na 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 na. Woo. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll be back Monday for more Eurorack nonsense, hopefully do something else, and then back again on Wednesday. Thanks, everyone, and if you could click like and all that kind of stuff, I'd appreciate it. Boring. But yes, thanks a lot. See you soon. Good night.